that is the biggest mistake that real estate agents make, is they frame everything as though it should be about them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can take the time to reframe it and make everything about their clients, literally everything. There's a great book I read called Mr. Schmooze. And it's just about taking care of your clients and doing little things. It's like a sales parable book. And it's phenomenal because all it talks about is how to do things, how to gift, how to invest. And it's all how this killer salesman does all this by himself. And I'm telling you, man, like if you master that, just read the book and do everything it says.
What's up, everybody? Mike and Chris, the Tactical Agents, here with another episode. I think this is episode 17. 17. So how many months is that? I don't know. We started in January, so
it's like 4.
It's less than 3 months of content, I guess. But welcome. Thanks. If you are a subscriber on the YouTube channel, or you are a subscriber on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, thank you for coming back. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're getting value from what we share on this show. We want to help people be at their absolute best and see and approach this real estate business differently. And it's possible for you. It is, believe us, if we can do it, you can do it, because we're just two idiots. Literally fumbled our way around for years on the internet until we figured some things out. So
until we accidentally got successful.
Yeah, until we stumbled into it, you know. And now we share so that you don't have to stumble. We give you a path forward. Full disclosure, I actually forgot about this last episode. I'm kicking myself now, but full disclosure, yes, we do provide real estate coaching, but we also have a completely free group that's based on the concepts that we're teaching on the show. If you go to tacticalagents.com, get your invite into the group, and it's completely free. And once you're in the group, you'll get the links for our book, which is free. And we're not talking about some cheesy little ebook. We're talking about a 200-page real book that we published last year. So we're giving that away. And we're just trusting that if we add enough value to enough agents will want to come partner with us, whether it's on our team directly in real estate nationwide, or whether it's a coaching gig and you just want to learn where you're at and see if we can improve your business. All right, that's a commercial. No, we are not going to encourage you to be spies, but we are going to talk about the CIA. We're going to talk about the heartbeat of our business. If there was, I don't know why we're only talking about this episode 17, but if there was one thing that would be the most practical way to describe our approach, it's going to be what we cover with you today. So the CIA is what we came up with. Originally, that's because we were former cops, and so anything that we could,
any kind of acronym,
whatever sounded cool and made cop sense.
But we have alluded to the CIA throughout all these episodes, so we might even be able to say this is the long-awaited episode.
Yes,
on the CIA.
The long-awaited. All right, I'm going to actually take a screenshot from the book, and I'm going to add it into the stream here for those that are gracious enough to be on the old YouTubes. See if I can figure out how to put this on the screen. There it is. All right, cool. We got it. I'll just put it up there every once in a while for you to reference. And if you want to get the graphic, well, get into the Tactical Agents group and we'll show you.
We'll post it.
Yeah.
And you can have it.
We'll post it, then you can have it. Now, last episode, we talked about trust. Well, how do you get there? Right? It's one thing to come to a point to where you go, okay, I get it. I got to build trust. But I've been doing this business a while, and I'm still not sure, how do I do that? And this is where we get in our own way. This is where we overthink things, because your business will build at the speed of relationship, not at the speed of your sales abilities, at the speed of your relationship. It's if you go the sales approach, if you go the traditional model of real estate, you're only as good as your last sale, right? You're only as good as what you've got, the new leads you have tomorrow to call and sell That's it. That's your business. The leads dry up or the leads go sour and your conversion rate goes down. There's all sorts of those kind of factors. Well, now what do you have left? But if you have relationships, if you have built trust over time, you've got a business that will weather the storms of market shifts and weather the changes in interest rates and all that stuff. You will soon not really care about that stuff, because in every market, up or down, people need help moving. In every single market. Look at your MLS. Transactions happened today. There are closings happening today. There are listings going up today. The question isn't whether there's business happening, it's whether that business is going through your funnel.
Yeah. What's funny is everybody's talking about how the real estate market is crashing in Phoenix, but if you really look at it, we went down, 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 and then it's just hooked and it's like rocketing straight back up. So, people are getting multiple offers again already. It's the sky is not falling, no matter what anybody says. The sky is not falling.
There's all sorts of factors that go into the pressure on a listing, but I was telling you off camera, I just put a listing up last night that I've got at least 30 showings happening. And I already know it's going to be an over asking with appraisal guarantees, just very, very a la 2021 happening right now, and I think that a lot of that comes from, and I don't want to like get distracted with a market conversation, but I think a lot of people are realizing like, oh, these are the rates now.
Yeah.
Until we have an economic, an ideological shift again from a policy standpoint, without diving into politics, I'll let you guess which direction I lean that way. And by let you guess, I mean Biden is a horrific president, and the policies set by his party are absolutely atrocious and riddled with communism. It's disgusting. So I'll let you just wonder about that. All right, let's get focused. Let's get focused on the CIA, because you don't want to get me on that tangent, boys. All right. What? I'll put this graphic up, Chris. Let's start walking us through here.
Okay. We have talked about, so what you're essentially looking at, for those of you that can see it, is the tactical funnel. But on the right side of that funnel is what we call the CIA. So the CIA is basically our entire theory on how to be successful in real estate. And it boils down to connect with people on an intimate level, invest in relationships with words, deeds, gifts, however you do it, but invest in those relationships. And this is the crux, after you have done the other two things, you ask for business in the right way at the right time. It's very important that you do it in the right way and at the right time.
Yeah, and if you wonder what we mean by that, definitely go back and pick up on the last episode about trust, because we build to the trust. We put them in a flow to build that, and we do it naturally, right? So let's maybe a cool way to approach this would be to come up with a theoretical situation and walk them through what that could look like. Okay. So let's say that let's have it start with a social media post.
Okay.
You post a meme that you find funny, and somebody
that from time to time.
That does happen occasionally. And sometimes they're so funny that I am restricted on Facebook for 30 days. I wish I shared Zuckerberg's sense of humor, because it would make my life a lot easier on social media, but nonetheless. All right. So you post something and you notice that someone makes a laughing reaction. You check who's reacting, who's engaging with this post, and you see someone that you haven't talked to in, let's say, a year. You're like, oh, man, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he made a laughing face emoji on your post. talk to me about that connection. Talk to me about how do I reconnect with this person that I haven't talked to in a year because I saw them engage on a post. That's where I become aware of this person in my network.
All right. I'm gonna give everybody out there the secret sauce to reconnecting with somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my Facebook Messenger and I'm gonna type out a message. And that message is gonna be say, "Hey, I saw you laughed at my meme. It reminded me that I'm a giant asshole and I haven't talked to you for more than a year. How you been?"
Yeah, but what about if they want to buy or sell?
Also, do you
Do
want
you
to
send a
buy? No, I'm
do
just
you
kidding.
send a copy of your
No.
business card, like a graphic of
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. We should connect sometime so that you can buy a house from me.
I really
No,
want to
but
get coffee with you because I'm in real estate.
yeah, no, it's I've got to reconnect, right? Because that level of familiarity, the know, has dissipated some, and the trust has dissipated some because we haven't had the opportunities to interact to replenish that bucket of trust, I guess. Um, so the like is still there. They're going to remember, hey, me and Chris, we got along all right. But the rest of it, you've got to redo. So I'm going to connect with them. I'm going to disarm them first, and I'm going to take responsibility for not having communication with them. Right? It's on
Mhm.
me. I'm the asshole. And then I'm going to, I'm not going to tell them anything about myself. I'm not going to make it about me. I'm going to make it about them. And I'm going to say, how have you been?
Mhm.
Because people like to talk about themselves.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to say, how you been? And then we're going to go from there. We're going to roll into our frog conversation. Have we done an episode on frogs yet? I don't
No,
know.
but we got to leave some mystery here.
Yeah. Okay. So in the future, for our long-awaited frog
Yeah,
conversation
you want to know
episode,
about frogs? You go to tacticalagents.com, get your invite to the group, get in there. Let's see if we're a fit. We'll book a strategy call. I'll tell you what a frog is. You remind me in the strategy call, I'll tell you.
but anyway, so I start rolling into that frog conversation and asking them about, what's going on in their life, who they're, how their family's doing, what they're doing for fun, things like that, how's work, stuff like that, and just kind of reconnecting with them. And along the way, they are naturally going to start asking me the same questions too. And then I'm just going to have a conversation with somebody, and I'm never going to ask them for business. Not 1 second I'm not going to ask because I haven't earned the right yet.
Yeah, that's so important. You haven't earned the right yet. And this goes back. Remember, I told you the formula, guys, last week. Authenticity plus intentionality over time equals trust. So this is the authentic part. I'm going to
Mhm.
really, I didn't post about real estate. This wasn't a post that said like, call me if you're thinking of buying or selling. It wasn't this. This was a meme, right? This was just
Mhm.
me being me, you being you, and something like checking the engagement so that you're seeking opportunities to connect with people. This is your number one job every day as a
Yes.
tactical agent. The most important thing you could possibly do on a daily basis as a non-negotiable is to connect with people in conversation. Right?
Mhm.
That's it, man. Like, and there's a hierarchy to that. We don't have time to go into it on the podcast, but there is a hierarchy that we kind of teach to maximize that. All right, so in the course of the conversation, let's say that you do find out about his family, right?
Mhm.
And you find out that his junior high son just qualified for states in wrestling,
Mhm.
and you actually ask him, "Oh wow, when is that? Is that like a local thing? I've never seen a junior high wrestling state meet. Like, is that something that is around here? Or do you got to go travel somewhere else in the state or whatever? Oh, cool. When is that happening?" And he
Mhm.
gives you a date, right? Today, at the time we're recording this is March 24th. So let's say he says, "Oh, it's April 15th." Like that's when it's going to be.
Okay.
Okay, now armed with that information, how do you shift into investing in that relationship, the thing that you most learned that stands out most to you in the conversation was that
hmm
fact.
Well, it's a couple. There's a couple different avenues that you could go down with that, but the you want to see like which is going to have the most impact, and which is going to show that you are committed to the relationship more. So ideally, you would show up at the meet and support your friend's son.
Hmm.
Now that doesn't mean like you go all out and get weird with it and have like a special shirt made and all that stuff, but you just show up. Hey, man, I've never seen one of these. You told me your son was competing. I was just going to stop by and see what it's about. Is that cool? Mind if I sit with you? Whatever. And then just have a good time. Enjoy the meet. Another thing could be, a quick handwritten note, word of encouragement for his son. Hey, your dad told me you were doing this thing. That's amazing. Really happy to see that. Good luck,
Hmm.
and shoot him a little something. Um, there could be a follow-up call. Even if you don't go and you don't send something, the day after, you give dad a call and you say, hey, you told me your son was competing on this on the 15th. How'd it go?
Hmm.
Right. And then what does that say to somebody when you do something like that? Right. It's this person was listening to what I said, because people want to be heard. This person was listening to what I said, and he cared about the result of this enough to
Hmm.
call me and ask how it went.
Hmm.
Um, that tells somebody that they mean something to you. And when you tell somebody that they mean something to you, there is a bit of a bond that starts to build right there, and that deepens a relationship, because uh, people want to be valued, and you just told them that you valued them, right?
Hmm.
So that's one of the ways or a few of the ways that I might approach that.
Yeah. So a couple things to think about in the background, guys, is this isn't happening at once,
No.
right? This maybe you follow up um, the 16th with
Mhm.
how did it go, right? I think the going in person would probably depend on the nature of your relationship,
Right. Yeah,
right?
for
Like,
sure. If it's just some dude you knew in high school and you haven't seen
yeah,
him in
if this
15 years, that'd be
if
weird.
you've
But
never hung out with this person, it'd be weird for you to show up to their kid's sporting event. But if
yeah,
you
yeah.
did know this person, you're like re-engaging a relationship that used to be good.
hmm
I have several relationships like that, to where it wouldn't be weird for me to show up because we used to hang out all the time and we just haven't in a while, right? So like
Right.
there's that, but there's the phone call, right? There could be, oh man, does he like UFC or whatever?
hmm
Maybe there's a signed UFC poster or something like that on eBay
Yeah.
for $10, and you get it and say, hey man, on the 13th, this gets delivered to his house. Like, hey, man, I'm a huge UFC fan. I train jujitsu, and I'm putting myself in this situation. Like, I love this.
hmm
If I was when I was his age, I would have loved getting something like this. I thought of you
Yeah.
guys when I saw it. So I'm like, maybe if you want to give it to your kid as a gift, it doesn't have to be for me, man. Like, let it be from you. Or if you just want to
Yeah.
chuck it, cool. Whatever. You could give a gift, whatever it is. This
hmm
happens like a couple weeks later, 3 weeks later, right? It's time,
Yeah.
right? We haven't talked about real estate or whatever, or maybe we have. He might have said, how's the real estate thing going? He may have brought it up, like, oh man, it's going great. uh and then that's an opportunity to talk about not you, but what you love about helping people, what jazzes you up about the business, that kind of thing. Not about you, because it's never about you. Like, to stop making it about you, right? You're investing in them, right? You're
That
connecting to them.
that is the biggest mistake that real estate agents make, is they make or they frame everything as though it should be about them.
Hmm.
And if they can take the time to reframe it and make everything about their clients,
Hmm.
literally everything. There's a great book I read called Mr. Schmooze. And it's just about taking care of your clients and doing
Hmm.
little things. It's like a
Yeah.
sales parable book. And it's phenomenal, because all it talks about is how to do things, how to gift, how to invest. And it's all how this killer salesman does all this by himself. And I'm telling you, man, like if you master that, just read the book and do everything it says. It's
Yeah.
that simple. You'll be the king of investing in relationships.
Yeah. Your clients don't revolve around you as if you're the sun, right? Like, make
hmm
your CRM as that core 100 grows to lay your foundation, that is what you revolve around. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you build off of, not the other way around. Now, we always say, like, you ask at the right time in the right way. The right time is once you can genuinely answer the question, have I authentically connected to this person? And have I genuinely, with intentionality, invested in this relationship? Then and only then is now the time that you start thinking, I can ask this person for business.
Right. Right. Yeah. And the authenticity is also really important, because a lot of the things I'm saying right now are how you can ingratiate yourself to other people. But you got to, let's be really, really clear on this. It has to be authentic. You have to really want to connect with these people, because if it's all about the money and all about the business, they'll see right through it, and it'll be a waste of your time, their time, and it will leave a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah. And you have to be you. You can't be me. You can't be Chris. You can't be Jimmy from down the street, man. You can't be the realtor on the billboard. You can't be you. There's only one you. This is the greatest thing that you have to offer for your business. And so be you. How can you invest in that relationship with an intentionality, but a genuineness behind that? And then you can ask. And then this is where people get the ask wrong, because they think I got to ask them for their business. And we just simply never do that. There's no reason to ever do that, because if they know you, if they like you, and they trust you, you're top of mind. The fact that they know you're a real estate agent, brothers and sisters, let me tell you, if they don't ask you to be their realtor, they don't trust you.
Yeah.
Like, they trust somebody else more. That's just, they know somebody else better. They like somebody else more, or they trust somebody else more, right? Like, you haven't earned it, and that's okay. But don't fool yourself, right? Like, you've gotta earn it. And I mean, listen to this episode 4 times, please. Like, there's a lot of details in this that you can't miss.
I mean, I've literally sold houses to people whose sister is a real estate agent, and they've been like, yeah, but I think, you'd really like work hard to take better care of us, make sure we're all right. So that trust thing can't be underrated. Like, it's his sister, right? Like, his blood sister that he grew up in the same house with, and he calls me when he needs to buy or sell a house.
Yeah.
So, but asking, right? Let's get back on track. Asking the right way at the right time. So the right way, like Mike said, is asking about somebody else, but it's also how you word it, right? The people in your life, when you build a business this way, value you, they're connected to you, and they consider you a friend. So when you ask for something, you are asking a friend for help. So before you ask, get yourself in the mindset that, remember what it's like when a friend asks you for help. Do you want to help them? Of course you do, right? If it's within your power and it's not too inconvenient, then you want to help them. So you go and you just say, hey, I need a little help. I'm trying to build this business. Do you know anybody, or who do you know that's looking to buy or sell, or needs some help, needs the same service that I would give you? Who do you know that needs somebody they can trust? There's a bunch of different ways you can word it in the real estate business. Who can you introduce me to that's like you, because I want to meet more people in my business like you? But who do you know that's like you that may be looking for a real estate agent? Who can you introduce me to? And when you ask in that way, it's not the same as saying, do you know anybody that can give me a commission check?
Yeah. And that's even if you don't use those words, people can hear that.
Yes.
Like, they can hear that. They can hear that from the very first step when you reach out off that Facebook post, right?
Yep.
Are they hearing that you really want to connect with them? You got to check yourself, man. Like, there's no doubt about it. You got to check your motivations. And if your head's not right, if your heart's not right, if you're not aligned with this process with an authenticity, that you can call this whatever you want. It ain't going to work. Right. this entire approach is predicated upon a certain level of being real. And yeah, I mean, yes, we're in business and we know that the result will be money, but if you can actually learn to love the process and enjoy the
Mhm.
process, the results will come. You don't have to worry about that. And too many people want the results so bad they swing from thing to thing. They try different stuff all the time, and it's kind of like this spaghetti on the wall approach. Like, well, let's just
Right.
do everything and see what sticks. And again, we come back to the fact that there's a reason 87% of real estate agents get their license and quit. There's a
Well, and
reason.
how many times have you and I started coaching somebody and then they go through a few months, they don't see any success, and then they give us a call and they're like, what do I need to do? And it's like, oh, we've already told you what you need to do. Show us your field guide. They don't have anything in it. They haven't done any of the work. And then we tell them, look, you're focusing on the results, focus on the process, do the work and see what happens. And then they do the work, they see what happens, and they have a ton of
Hmm.
success. It's
Yep.
like clockwork over and over and over again. And they'll tell you, we could line up 100 people in front of you that would say, I tried to do it my way. And then I finally surrendered and just did what they said about trusting the process, and it all worked out.
Yep.
It's and it's not like we reinvented this wheel. Like it's all it's all stuff that everybody knows. It's just a matter of doing it and
Yeah.
doing it the right way.
Yeah. So surround yourself with people who encourage you to get it done. So go to tacticalagents.com and get get in the get in the bus. Get on the bus. We'll take a trip. All right, man. We went over compared to our normal time, so we're gonna shut up, and hopefully you guys have a different perspective. Maybe your eyes were open. Maybe you're like, oh man, that makes a lot of sense. I should try this. And if you do, let us know how it goes. Love to hear from you. We'll see you next episode.